Maybe you're thinking this is just another one of those videos you scroll through and click on YouTube in this dopamine-filled internet. The kind of video you watch, take a quick look at, remember two things, even comment to a friend, but then close it and never think of the information again. Information that often is relevant, but you don't apply in your life. In this video, unlike all the others you watch seeking simple productivity hacks that promise to solve all your problems, I'm going to show you 5 habits that you absolutely must not cultivate if you want to have an adaptive life with mental health, productivity, long-term thinking, and motivation. These are items that are increasingly rare in today's society, and you know what I'm talking about. You know. That's how it works, and you know several people who are like that. Unlike what you do with other videos, I need you to watch this video, close your browser tab or your phone screen, and think about what we're discussing here. Instead of simply switching platforms and going to other social networks to watch people shaking their butts and breasts, I need you to think about these habits I'm going to talk about that you must not cultivate, and from these habits, from these insights, start thinking about how to apply this in your life right now. The first habit I absolutely don't want you to have is associating with harmful, toxic people. I know that often you think it's not a big deal. I know that often you think that person close to you, the one who occasionally hurts you, the one who gives a fake smile but stabs you with little jabs, the one who talks behind your back. You know they talk behind your back, but you ignore it and continue being friends with that person. That person often hurts you significantly, but in your mind, you cling to them for some reason, thinking they need to be present. This often happens due to a dysfunctional belief you have about yourself. However, this person is a stress-inducing element in your life. That contextual pin within your map is a stress generator. It's like having an infection in an organism, constantly recruiting and demanding the immune system, and eventually this starts to wear you down, leading to emotional overload. So, this psychological parasite that orbits your routine, this toxic person you associate with, should be something you remove from your circle of interactions. I know it's often difficult, but removing a rusty nail embedded in your foot is much better. It's much better to feel that momentary pain, but not have that infection gnawing at your system from within, than to have that rusty nail embedded there for years, causing a series of collateral problems. Therefore, the first habit I don't want you to cultivate: urgently distance yourself from toxic people. Urgently distance yourself from people who hurt you. Urgently distance yourself from people who compromise you cognitively and from a mental health standpoint. It's not as difficult as you think. Remember the metaphor of the nail and keep that in your mind. It will greatly facilitate your decision-making. The second habit I want you to avoid is being sedentary. Don't be sedentary. Sedentary behavior communicates to your brain and to the people and society around you how well you take care of yourself, your self-assessment, your sense of what we call a selfie. That is, the me in relation to others, to the world, to the future, is influenced by sedentarism. A person who is sedentary, who doesn't take care of themselves, who doesn't care about their health, not only communicates this to everyone around them, but also to themselves. William James, one of the most important psychologists in the United States, considered the father of American psychology, showed something fantastic in his studies: our body's ability to inform our brain. Our brain has a gigantic capacity to read our bodily state. So, when you're feeling unwell, when you're inflamed, when you're tired, your brain knows it. A sedentary body is energetically inefficient, enzymatically inefficient, and your brain ends up reading this, leading to a low perception of self-efficacy, which many people also call self-esteem. The third habit I want you to avoid is not studying or studying only one thing at a time. If you don't study, You won't be able to keep up with the safety zone of your area. You'll be only in the comfort zone, and even that's questionable, which implies a possible dismissal, an inability to re-enter the job market, or an inability to enter the job market after finishing college or a postgraduate course. And if you study only one thing, you lose the ability to see the holistic sense. And by holistic, I'm not talking about how your holistic therapist speaks. Holistic, in the sense of the word, means seeing the world from a broader perspective. You can see this phone here in a systemic way, looking only at the case, looking only at the camera, looking only at the screen, looking only at the whole, or you can see this phone here as holistic, a complete view of the whole, a view of every part of the phone. When you don't study, you don't even know what that is. Metaphorically speaking, when you study only one thing, you are seeing a phenomenon from a single perspective. And in an increasingly interconnected world, where areas are increasingly talking to each other, it's interesting that you can see the same thing from different perspectives, because this will generate an increased capacity for input in your brain, and therefore your production, wherever it may be, will be improved. So, don't stop studying, and don't study only one thing. The fourth habit I'd like you to leave behind is cultivating only quick pleasures. Stop desperately seeking quick pleasures in food, in video games, in pornography, in easy-to-read books, by not reading entire news articles, by stopping and giving up in the face of any situation that requires effort, by avoiding situations at work where you know you'll need to exert a little more effort, by not training systematically and with focused capacity, by not wanting to evolve in your life and in the areas that require a certain effort to achieve. I'm not against entertainment. I'm in favor of entertainment, but of entertainment that at least entertains. You watch things that you think provide entertainment, when in fact these things only reinforce certainties you have about your dysfunctional habits. You see people smoking, you see people drinking, you see people using drugs, and you start to normalize that in your life, thinking that it's common, and therefore, if it's common, I can do it too. Stop cultivating quick pleasures. Stop pampering your dopaminergic system. The fifth habit I'd like you to stop cultivating is stop avoiding situations that generate stress. Stop avoiding situations that make you uncomfortable. Stop avoiding situations that require effort. Stress follows an inverted U-shaped curve. You need some stress. If you have very little or no stress, your system becomes dysfunctional. Now, if you have too much stress, your system also becomes dysfunctional. It's important, to some degree, that you expose yourself to stressful situations. What are these situations? Speaking in a work meeting, presenting a school or college project, talking to the person you want to talk to, being able to organize your thoughts and explain to a specific number of people. Stop asking your college colleague to present your work. Never miss the opportunity to speak in public. Whenever you can, speak. Stop being afraid to leave your parents' house and move to a new city to try your luck. If you have the financial means to try this, there's no reason not to try. The behavioral repertoire that this will generate for you is much greater than the $800 you are saving, and here I'm speaking to those in these conditions, okay? Please don't generalize. The point is, and the overall message of this last habit is, don't shy away from possible responsibilities. Don't shy away from possible items and situations where you will likely gain behavioral repertoire. Only then will you have a better life. Here, these are 5 habits you cannot cultivate in your life if you want to achieve relevance. Don't associate with toxic people. Don't be sedentary. Don't stop studying or study only what you want and think is important. Don't indulge in quick pleasures and stop avoiding things. Be careful not to nurture these habits. If you liked this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your attention to those who stayed until the end, and until next time.